Save before spending. Once upon a time, there was a man named Adrian Vale. At 35, Adrian had everything most people only dreamed of. He was tall, strikingly handsome, with a sharp jawline and a quiet confidence that made people listen when he spoke. He lived in a glass-walled penthouse that overlooked the city, drove a different luxury car depending on his mood, and wore suits tailored so perfectly they seemed stitched onto his skin. But more than his looks, it was his career that defined him. Adrian was a rising executive in a powerful firm, relentless, precise, and always moving forward. Promotions came quickly, money came faster, and Adrian spent it even faster than that. To him, money wasn't something to hold, it was something to prove. Every bonus became a new watch. Every deal closed meant another trip, another celebration, another expense that screamed success. Why save? He would laugh when friends brought it up. I'm just getting started. He believed income would always rise, that success was permanent, that tomorrow would always be bigger than today. So he lived like a man racing ahead of his own shadow, never stopping, never looking back. There was a woman once. Her name was Elise. She didn't care about his cars or his penthouse. She cared about the small things, quiet dinners, long conversations, the kind of life that grew roots instead of flashing lights. You should slow down, she told him one evening, standing by the window of his apartment. Build something that lasts. Adrian smiled, kissed her forehead, and replied, I am building something, you just can't see it yet. But what he was building had no foundation. Elise left a year later, not because Adrian lacked love, but because he had no time for it, no space for it, no patience for anything that didn't immediately shine. He didn't chase her. There would be others, he thought. There always were. Then came the fall. It didn't arrive with thunder, it came quietly. A bad quarter, a risky decision, a deal that collapsed overnight. The company restructured, and just like that, Adrian was no longer indispensable. He told himself it was temporary, that someone like him would bounce back easily. He still had his lifestyle after all, so he kept spending. The penthouse rent, the car payments, the dinners, the image. But income had stopped, and for the first time in his life, Adrian had nothing saved. Not a cushion, not a fallback, not even a plan. Months passed. Interviews didn't go as expected. New candidates were younger, cheaper, hungrier. His name, once respected, became forgettable. Bills began to pile. He sold one car, then another. The watches followed. The penthouse was the last to go. Adrian moved into a small, dim apartment on the edge of the city, a place he would have once driven past without noticing. Still, he told no one. Pride is expensive. One night, as rain pressed softly against his window, Adrian opened an old box he had managed to keep. Inside were photographs, smiles he barely remembered, moments he had rushed through, people who had once waited for him. At the bottom was a photo of Elise. On the back, she had written, "One day you'll understand that not everything that shines is meant to be spent." His hands trembled. For the first time, Adrian felt something heavier than loss. He felt regret. Years went by. The city moved on. Adrian became a man people didn't recognize. He took small jobs, lived quietly, avoided mirrors. The sharp suits were gone. The confidence faded. The world he once dominated no longer knew his name. But the memory of who he had been never left him. It haunted him. One cold evening, Adrian sat alone on a worn bench outside a convenience store, counting the few coins in his hand. Not for luxury, not for status, just for a meal. A young man nearby laughed loudly into his phone, talking about a bonus he had just received. Adrian looked up. For a moment, he saw himself. The same energy, the same certainty, the same blindness. He wanted to speak, to warn him, to say something, anything that could change his path. But he didn't, because he knew. Some lessons are only learned through loss. That night, Adrian didn't go home. He stayed on that bench, staring at the city lights he once owned. The same lights that had watched him rise, and now watched him fade. By morning, the rain had stopped, but Adrian Vale was gone. No headlines, no announcements, no one to notice. Just a man who had once had everything, and lost it all, not because he didn't earn enough, but because he never learned to keep it. And in a quiet, tragic twist of fate, the man who spent his life proving his worth through money died with nothing left, except the realization that he had wasted it all.